Alright, welcome back. It's been a minute since I have recorded a video for this Madden channel. And today I am looking at a few of the ways that Madden 19 is broken in franchise mode. Just some ridiculous stuff. Me and a buddy of mine are playing a connected franchise. We have it set on like the easiest possible settings. Just because we wanted to have some fun with it, we're setting records left and right. The only time we ever have any kind of challenge in a game is when we play against each other, which is only in the Super Bowl. It was just a fun thing to do. I imported a custom draft class for our first draft that was full of legendary players, and for some reason he didn't see any of them when he was drafting, so I got them all. So here's a few things that have become apparent as we've been playing this season. So I'm going to go through a few of them and just kind of show you some of the things that I've noticed. So you see my quarterback, Kyle Allen, who was a rookie last year, and he's actually a backup for the Panthers. He's got 10,321 passing yards, 127 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. That's a pretty damn good record for a quarterback. Christian McCaffrey is my running back. He's got 159 carries for 2,301 yards, 21 touchdowns. And he did that in just 7 games because he's got injured twice already. Receiving. So Julio Jones has 151 catches for 7,436 yards, 116 touchdowns. Greg Olsen has 22 catches, 573 yards, 10 touchdowns. Randy Moss has 16 catches, 687 yards, 10 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey has 4 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown. Actually, let me sort this. Tony Gonzalez has 3 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown, and John Ross has 2 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. But wait a minute. 116 plus 10 plus 10 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's 149 touchdowns. And yet the quarterback who's thrown every single pass this season only has 127 touchdowns. That's because we've discovered that there is a hard cap on how many passing touchdowns you can get in a season, and apparently that cap is 127. Just to verify that, let's go into the NFL records and look at the 2018 season. Kyle Allen and Ladasha Fangul is my buddy's quarterback. Oh, look at that. They both tied last year for 127 touchdowns. And I've already hit that number this year. He's a game behind me. He'll probably hit it within the next game or two. And yet somehow... Oh, and I guess it affects receiving touchdowns too, because he has Antonio Brown, who had 127 receiving touchdowns. I had Julio Jones with 73 touchdowns. Greg Olsen had 48 touchdowns. So that gets you up to 121 just with those two alone. And, well, he didn't make the list here. How did he not make the list? Well, I also had Larry Fitzgerald, who retired at the end of the season, had another 14 touchdowns. John Ross had 13 touchdowns. All total, I had over 150 touchdowns on the season, passing, but it gives me credit for 127. Yeah, I haven't found the hard cap yet on yardage for a season. For a game, however, I haven't found the passing yardage cap on the game yet, or passing touchdowns. rushing yards or rushing touchdowns. But we have found the yardage cap on receiving touchdowns. Look at that. 1,023, 1,023, 1,020. Now, we did not just somehow magically seem to catch the exact same number of yards in each of those games. In one of those games with Jones, he had like 1,700 yards. He caught 20 touchdowns, and every single one of those was 70 yards or greater. I think 4 of them were 95-yarders. He had easily 1,700 yards. He got credit for 1,023. It's broken, I tell you. Let's see, what else we got here? Julio Jones is somehow currently in the lead for league MVP, which it makes sense. I mean, he's got 100 and something touchdowns, and yet the guy who threw him all those touchdowns, plus threw touchdowns to multiple other receivers, is in second place. I don't get it. Offensive Player of the Year, again. The guy who caught some of my almost 150 touchdowns is in first place, whereas my quarterback is in second place, even though he's thrown more touchdowns than he's caught. And then, of course, McCaffrey's in third, even though he's only played half the season. But he is the best running back in the league right now. Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, that makes sense. He's got something like 30 sacks already. I drafted Steve Young and I traded him away because I was really wanting to build this rookie quarterback up. So he's the Offensive Rookie of the Year right now for the Titans, because even though I've got Randy Moss, I haven't really been using him that much. He's only got 10 touchdowns. And then every candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year is on the Browns. At one point, a few games back, when we were 6-0 or 7-0, I was not on the list for best quarterback. I already had like 80 touchdowns on the season and was not on the list for best quarterback. Jacoby Brissett was. Yeah, some of this makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. I don't know why I went in there. Now, you saw I have the best defense in the league as far as individual players. But let's look at our actual performance. First, look at that offense. That's crazy. Okay, you can see here it says 143 passing touchdowns. Except you saw that my receivers have 149 receiving touchdowns. So that's another thing that's broken. On defense, somehow, I simulate defense in these games just because we set it for 10-minute quarters, which is ridiculous. It was a terrible idea. Our Super Bowl and our first season lasted 2 hours. So I simulate defense and only play offense. And doing so, that defense is, I mean, we've got 91 sacks as a unit. 10 forced fumbles, 22 interceptions. So we're right behind my buddy's team, the Eagles, in interceptions. We lead the league in forced fumbles. We lead the league in sacks. And yet somehow, and I'm guessing it's because I score so fast that the opponents, when they sim, they just get a lot of time with the ball. You know, I'll go into halftime up 63 to 21, 63 to 13. Because, yeah, I'll score 9 times each half. Easy. But, somehow, even with this amazing defense, we're the worst team in the league in passing yards allowed, not in rushing yards allowed. That would be the Bills, who allowed 500 of those to me. Crazy. And I have all those penalties must be on defense, because I think I had one delay of game penalty on offense because I was texting someone and forgot to run my play. Craziness. Look at that turnover differential. So it's kind of ridiculous. It's actually really ridiculous just how broken this game actually can be. And I'll show you some gameplay, but I need to wait for my buddy to play his game this week. I also discovered if you put a player on injured reserve and then their injury heals, you can just sign them to your practice squad and then sign them as a free agent, and they're off of injured reserve. So don't think the NFL actually works that way. But what do I know? So that's some of the things that I've noticed are broken in this game. What things have you noticed that are broken in Madden 19? And I'm not talking about MUT, because I know there's all kinds of stuff broken there. But what have you noticed broken in franchise mode or in exhibitions? I don't know if anybody even plays exhibition games. Let me know. Leave a comment. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other channel where I do base covers. I've got a lot more videos there. I've got close to 250 videos on that channel. A couple hundred subscribers over there, so go join that family too. I'm a lot more active there too. I post videos almost every day, as opposed to here where I post one or two, one every couple of months. Until next time, see ya.